is Mindless Meditation with Ripley. Ah, cat sounds in the background. Truly the most relaxing thing you could ever hear.
Hello.
Why are you John?
What are you talking about?
The hell?
What?
John? What's the M?
Oh, it didn't show up the name.
No.
Wait, why would it even let you put in a last name if you
It
couldn't?
just said John and then it says JM.
Yeah. I made my name John McStuffington.
Yeah. John has entered the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
You missed my whole mindless meditation sequence.
John McStuffington is here. There's nothing mindless anymore.
I was like, the relaxing sounds of the cat in the background. Who wants to play because I fell asleep and she wanted to play, but I was just sleeping
Yeah.
because it was like midnight.
Well, maybe you should just get on her schedule, okay? I don't know what to tell you.
Girl, she's her schedule's different every day. She takes
Did you
different
just say
lengths of
girl to
naps.
me? Say girl, please.
You're my closest friend. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you girl.
Hey, girl. I'll start calling you boy. Boy,
But she
please.
slept. I don't give a shit. Just don't call me it. I like pronouns are made up,
Nah,
and I
it's
don't
too
care.
late. It is.
No, don't do that to me,
Is it upset?
Jordan. Don't be a dick.
It's John, all right? Can you not read,
John
boy?
McStuffington. She slept from like 3 p.m. yesterday until like 8 p.m. almost. Like it was ridiculous. And then
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
the one with
living
the
with
master sleep
you.
schedule.
It's yeah, it's just living with you all over. Like this is how I feel, and you're like, why didn't you wake me up? Like, yeah, why did I not want to get scratched when I pushed you a little bit? Yeah, I wonder.
Trimming her nails helped immensely.
Well,
But
yeah, I bet.
hold on. Anyways, this is Mindless Prattle. I'm
Yeah. Oh,
Ripley.
now
That's
you say,
Jordan.
hold on. What an intro. Hold
This is
up,
our
stop.
intro.
Stop, go back. We forgot something. It wasn't important, but we forgot it.
This is the mindless and the prattling.
And you can find us anywhere. If you've listened before, welcome back. If you haven't, welcome in. Go back and listen to some other stuff because this is episode 14?
Is it
What we're on
really?
now?
That's
Yeah. Have you
crazy.
not been paying
Are we doing
attention?
like a whole season? Like, do we have an
What
episode
do you
plan? Like,
the whole
what is our
season?
game plan here?
Look, every time I try and talk to you about it, you're just like, the future's scary, and then you dip out. So
I am
you don't
mentally
get.
not well.
Yeah, but then you can't be like, what are we doing? Like you don't get to have both. You get to do one or the other.
Like, I have so many things I really want to do. Like, I really want to like make ads and stuff for our podcast. Like,
Hey,
and
you're taking time off. Now you have the time to make ads. You need me to record some, you let me know. You need to
well, I
record
need to
some, you
download
let me know.
TikTok again.
No, you don't. What are you talking about?
Because a lot
You're
of
like in withdrawal right now. You're like,
no, because TikTok is one of
week.
the best places to find an audience for your content. It is like the top of everything right
I
now.
like that I think you're just finding a reason to download TikTok
And
again.
you can monetize. And with my account, I already have the ability to upload the 3 and 10-minute long videos. So we don't even have a limit to what we can post.
10-minute long videos. I thought TikTok was like a minute and a half.
Yeah, the start is a minute. And then as your account grows, you can like have access to longer content. And so I was one of the first people who got access to the 3-minute videos because I had a few TikToks go viral.
Well, with all your new time off, you go for it. You let me know. You come up with an episode plan, a series plan. I'm just here. I just hit record and I go. All right. That's what I do. You come up with the long-term plans.
And then write and stuff like that, but I just always don't feel well. And I don't want to complain too much on the podcast, but
What a way to start. I
I
have all
know.
these ideas, but I won't do any of them.
But yeah, where should we start this week? You got any stories you want to start with, or is it my turn to start? Like, where we?
Do you have stories? Do you got something to talk about?
I don't know if I have a story, but I figured I could talk about getting my tires changed.
Was it an experience? You haven't
It
told me
was
about
an
it.
embarrassing. I don't know
Embarrassing.
anything about cars. So long story short for all the peoples out there, my back right tire has had a leak for a few months now, and Jordan's been telling me for a few months now to go get it checked out. Um, and like I went to a discount tire one day and got it filled, and they're like, "Yeah, it looks fine," but they were really busy and didn't. I don't think they really looked that
Yeah,
well,
they didn't check it at all. They just filled it and said, "All right, it's good. It's not exploding." And you're like, "That's not how that works."
and
But
they
okay.
overfilled it, but it was fine. Um, but so we go. I'm like, oh god, there's a line because I forgot it was spring break. So it was Tuesday on a
Yeah,
spring
you know
break.
the
So
hot spring break destination of discount tire.
well, so I guess people just finally had time to go and like get stuff done, or they needed to go out of town or stuff and realized they had a problem with their car, that sort of stuff, you know. So they were really busy. But I went to a different one than last time, and they had a way better parking lot. So that was nice because the other one that I went to, the parking lot was like a box square with like a squiggly line road coming out of it. It was not efficient. It was god awful. I don't know how they run their business there because every single parking spot was taken. Um, and I was waiting in this super long airline. But this one was nice. It had a very big parking lot, lots of spaces. So I park in between these two giant trucks, right? And I have like a floral license plate. And so I get in the line. I find someone to help me. He's asking me about my tire and all that stuff. We go out. He immediately knows which one is my car. He goes, "That one, the Jeep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's got the floral license plate and it's parked between these two fucking trucks." So he's like, "That one's yours." And he starts asking me all these questions, and I'm just like, you know, some of them I can't answer. Like he's like, you know, have you ever had your tires rotated? You know, that sort of stuff. Like, how long have you had these tires? And then he like looks at all of them, and my two front tires are pretty much bald. They're within the replace limit, and I googled it because it was really nice. But I always Google it just to make sure they're telling me the truth and stuff. And it
Wait,
was
you
like,
Googled whether your tires needed to be replaced?
yeah, like at what level do they actually need to be replaced, like
I
versus
mean,
just
if there's no traction on them, you need or no tread, you need to get them replaced.
they were at like a 432 tread, and yeah, Google was like, yeah, you need to replace those. That's when it starts getting dangerous. I haven't really felt a difference in my tires though, even though I am a renowned curb hitter. So I was like,
You're not gonna
okay.
feel the difference until all of a sudden you just can't fucking stop, like,
And
or
and then
go.
my back right tire had a nail in it. So he takes me back inside. Um, he's like going over all the prices of tires. Man, this man turned the computer around to me and showed me a grayed out like merchants list of 12 different types of tires and was like, this one costs this much and this one costs this much and this one costs, and I was like, sir, I don't know anything about tires. Like these, and they were all named something weird,
Yeah,
like
they all have
Phoenix
like some
something.
scientific like tire name, and you're like, what does this mean? And they're like, oh, this is the brand, and this is when it was made, and this is the material, and you're like, I only know that tires exist, man. Like, come
Well,
on
yeah,
now.
and then the ones for Jeep were all called something like animal or adventure related. So it was like the Phoenix Butt Crusher 3000 RX 8109, like, you know, like stuff like that. Where I was like, okay, what's the difference? And so he explains it to me, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not paying $200 for a tire. So I will take that one. um, you know, and I don't drive a ton, so I was like, I don't need something that's gonna last me like 100,000 miles. So the tires I got are good for 50K, and I'm like, I haven't even put that much on my car yet. I'm good. Um,
Yeah, I should probably actually get my tires replaced and looked at. I drove a lot. Maybe next
yeah.
time I'm up there or something.
The fun part though is he goes, "Do you have your wheel lock?" And I was like, "My what?" And he's like, "Your wheel lock. Your car has a wheel lock on it. We have to insert that to change the tires out." And I was like, "I've
Which is
never
interesting
seen
because
that
normally
before."
they'll just check your glove compartment and your like where your spare tire is for that because that's where it's normally kept. Like, why would they ask
Yeah,
you?
so he's like,
They
"It's normally
normally
with your
just
spare
check.
tire." So we open up my spare tire thing. There's a bunch of stuff. There's like a screwdriver in there. I got my, uh, jumper cables in there. Um, there
Did
was
you
a
say there's
tire
just one
iron.
screwdriver in there?
There's a screwdriver in there. I didn't know if
What
you
is
put it in there or
what's
where it
going on
came
with
from, but
you?
there's just a fucking screwdriver in there.
Just a
Um,
screwdriver. Okay.
and then there's this, I still don't know what to call it, this weird plastic cone thing. But it's not like just a cone. It like also has this like scoop thing. attached to it. It's not
You
like an
talking
ice
about like a
scraper.
funnel? What do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like a
What?
funnel, but it's got like a weird piece on it. The guy didn't know what it was either. He's like, I've never seen that. I
You
was
have
like,
to
I don't know
send me a
what's in
picture.
here.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah,
It
there's
sounds
just
interesting though.
tons of crazy stuff with my spare tire. Like, um, and then so we go and check my glove compartment. I can't find it in there. And then I see there's like a green pouch that my Jeep came with that has like random, um, like, about your car facts stuff in it. And so I open that and it's in there. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And he goes, yeah, good thing you have it. Cause if you ever popped your tire, that would have sucked. And I was like, dude, I would call you if I
Well,
had like something happen to
that's
my
the thing
tire. I'd be
too,
like,
is
what did I
like
do?
they manufacturers are like people who put the tires on, they'll put it in your car somewhere and you won't ever need it until you pop a tire. So there's no reason to like take it out, you know? Like dumb people are like, what's this thing? And they throw it out. I think that's what he was going for. Like, good thing you have it. Like, why would you throw it away if you don't know what it is, you know?
Yeah, I know, and I mean, it's a huge metal thing. I've never opened that pouch because like the actual really important manual stuff was like separate from that, so I just had that in there in case I ever needed something else. But it was a fun experience, and then I wait. They were like, "Oh, it's gonna be a 2 hour wait." I was like, "I okay." Really didn't want to wait here for 2 hours, but that's fine. I had even said like, "Oh, I can come back and make an appointment if like
Yeah,
it's less busy some other time."
you even asked me like, should I just Uber home? I'm like, no, you shouldn't Uber home. Why are you gonna waste like $40 instead of just
And
waiting around? Like,
And then I
it's
thought
not,
about walking
it's
across
not
the
like you have to
street
stay
because
across
there's a
the street.
Starbucks like caddy corner to it, and I just didn't feel like going to Starbucks. Um, so I sat in the lobby and wrote and did some work and stuff with my iPad and went home finally. It only took like an hour. That was really nice. And then the patch for the nail in my tire held, so I didn't have to replace that one too. Because if I had to replace that one, then I would have had to replace all four tires, and I really didn't want to shell out like $400 for tires. Or actually, that would be like 500, $600. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. So I was glad the patch held because my back tires weren't like were still within tread. But I can say I do notice the difference when I'm driving. Like my stopping it's very quick.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you put new tires on with actual tread, you'll notice it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh man, I don't think I told you. Last time I was coming up to visit, there was a bunch of traffic like super late at night and I didn't know why. And then I suddenly knew why. See, I was driving every lane, there was what, 4 lanes? Every lane was stopped for some reason. We're moving very, very slowly. And then suddenly one lane would drive very quickly and then stop again. And like, I didn't know what was happening until finally I got up to the front eventually of this, like, you know, traffic jam. And I see this van and it's driving like 10 miles an hour. And I was like, why is this van driving so slow? There was nobody in front of it. And I was like, this van is driving so slow. But like, I don't know if the driver knew what was happening or if they were like drunk or what was going on, but they were swerving in and out of like all 3 lanes, and then just avoiding like one of the fourth lanes. That's why that one was going by so quick. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the lane to be in. But it was swerving in all 3 lanes, going like 10 miles an hour. You know, like how
Mhm.
like cops do when they want everybody to slow down.
Yeah.
They'll like slalom back and forth. You know, and that's what this van was doing until finally I got close enough and I saw the van wasn't the van was not doing it on purpose. I don't think. I mean, he could have been. I don't know. But he had his back right tire and it was like flat, like blown out, like he was almost driving on rims. And then his front left tire was also like blown out and driving
What?
on rims. He had 2 like completely blown out tires and was just like swerving back and forth because it kept like cutting into the ground and then
Why not
pushing him
pull
back the other
over?
way. And then he was trying to get over to the exit. I finally stopped and just let him, because I was like, dude, just turn and go towards the exit. Like, why are you even driving forward? Just go towards the exit. So I
And did he have his
stopped.
hazards on?
He did, but I mean, what does that have to do with anything? He
Well, I mean, at
like
least alert people that he's aware it's a problem.
Well, yeah, he was trying to get off the road. How would he not be aware it's a problem? What the fuck are you talking about? The problem was people weren't fucking stopping for him. They were kept driving past him, like on his right side. So he would
Ugh.
stop and like swerve back to the left, and then he would cause more traffic. So finally, I was in like the second to the right lane, and I just stopped in front of both. like my lane and the next lane. I swerved into both and just stopped. And so finally he got off the highway and I just drove back into my lane and kept going. And I was like, you guys are
Yeah.
assholes, man. Just let
No,
him
that
get
was
off
nice
the
of
highway
you.
real quick. Like, fuck. It was so, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, get off the highway, man.
Well, I think I told you the other day I had a similar experience where like there was a huge wreck on the highway and it was the 4-lane highway. And I'm driving in the right lane to get to the exit I need to. And traffic is really, really backed up. And I thought it was weird because it was like 1 or 2 o'clock. Um, and then I see there's a huge accident and I hear sirens behind me all of a sudden, but no one, it's like an ambulance and no one is letting this ambulance over. No one's stopping, moving so that it can get around. And this accident's maybe like 15, 20 feet in front of me. Like I'm like right by the accident. Um, and I see the ambulance. So I just stop. I'm the only person to stop. And because I stop, everybody else started to stop. And the ambulance gets across all 4 lanes of highway, stops over by the accident, and then I start going slowly so I can make a lane change, and people start fucking passing us and shit. And I'm like, dude, the ambulance is half in the right lane and half sitting because it's a small little, what is it called? The space between the highway and the center block thing. There's a word
With the
for it.
shoulder?
The
Is that what you're
shoulder.
talking about?
Yeah, so, like, it's, like, half on the shoulder, half in the road because it's too big to fit just on the shoulder. So I start going slowly, and this car tries to fucking go around me, and so I zoomed into the other lane and zoomed back over. But I was just like, "Man, like, I know, like, it sucks having to deal with that kind of traffic and stuff, but I just think, like, when I see accidents, somebody is having the worst day of their life. You don't know, they could be dying, they could be injured, um, and with the sirens and how many cops and stuff were there, I think it was a pretty bad accident. Yet people aren't even willing to sacrifice like 20 extra seconds of their day to drive safely so that an ambulance can make it to help people. Like that's ridiculous. So
Yeah,
good job
it's
for you.
pretty sad. Just like people just won't stop, and I'm like, you guys are kind of assholes, aren't you? Like that's it's
Yeah, and
crazy
I
how
worry like
much
if
they
you ever
will.
need help in public, what are you supposed to do? Like they literally teach people to yell shit like fire and shit because people won't like just help you if you need a help like a personal attack or something. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if you're being attacked, yeah.
Yeah, like bro, I saw this great video the other day. Since I deleted TikTok, I've been watching YouTube Shorts, and they're really random.
You mean like the sophisticated version? I got you.
I
Okay.
do, most of it is like recycled TikToks that I've already seen, and then some of them are just like these random videos. But there was this video. Basically, this guy's Tesla was parked and recording the area around him, and it caught this girl running away from her attacker and spraying him with like mace. This girl, I was like, damn,
Oh
like this girl
yeah,
was
I
prepared.
saw
She
that. Yeah,
sprays
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck out of him with mace and just takes off. And she like
Yeah, why
passes the
wouldn't
Tesla
you?
owner and he
He
comes
like,
back and sees the
yeah,
mace guy. And his car caught the whole thing on camera. I was
yeah,
like, that is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she's just like jogging, like running down the street, and he like comes up to her, grabs her shoulder, spins her around, and she's just like, "Not today," and like sprays the
Yeah.
fuck out of him, and runs off. And he's like,
I
"Ah,
think
god,"
I don't know
which
if
I'm
I
sure she
want
got some on her
mace.
too. What's up?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want mace because I feel like I have the potential to really choke myself with mace. I've had mace in my room before. Not a fan. I don't want to deal like I had a friend who had a little
You had
can
it
of mace on a
in your
keychain.
room? What?
Yeah, she sprayed a very tiny amount in my room because she was stupid. We were like 15, 16. She had a
Well,
little
yeah,
tiny
because you're in
mace
a
thing.
confined space. Of course, you're gonna get
Yeah.
it in your eyes
And
and stuff. Like
it was
it's
even just
meant
the
to be used like
tiniest spray, not
outside.
like a lot or anything like that, just a tiny amount. I was like coughing and choking, and I was like, "Why would you do that in here?" But I feel like I could mace myself very easily. But you know what I think would be great? Like a loud air horn, right? Like one like that would like hurt your
No,
ears
mace is way better.
with a
It's way
bright
more effective.
flashlight that
It's
you
way
press
more
it.
effective. I don't know what
But
you're on
but
about.
when you press it, it would flash like a super like blinding bright light in someone's face and like make a sound go off at the same time and disorient them. I'm sure Mace would be better, but like I
No,
said,
mace is way better. What are you talking about? A sound, unless you're like making the sound of like a loud gunshot next to their ears, they're gonna recover from it in like, I don't know, 10 seconds. Like it's not that hard to recover from super loud sounds. But mace is like 20 minutes minimum. Like you got time to run away. Even if you mace yourself and can't really see, you can still start jogging if you're really that you got that much adrenaline, you know? Like
Yeah, I just always have like my cell phone and keys with me, but I don't really have any like personal defense items. Maybe I should change that.
I'm pretty sure I bought like home defense items, but if you don't have anything personal, you probably get. We'll go pick you out some pink mace next time I'm
I
there.
don't
How
want
about that?
pink mace.
Okay, purple mace, whatever. You know, I
Glittery.
don't glittery mace. Yeah, that'd be great. Like, why is this guy this guy is writhing in pain on the ground? Yeah, but his eyelids look fantastic. Look at that shimmer.
Oh my god, do you think they make mace that's like colored like that? Be like, that's the guy.
I I doubt it, but that'd be funny.
Yeah, like if your mace was like red or something, so you spray someone, they can't deny it. Like, no, that was him. Obviously, they have to get treatment
You can't
anyways, but
well, you can't deny being maced, all right? If someone sees you, your eyes are it looks like you've been punched by like somebody with like a pepper bush, just like like hitting you with it, you know? There's no question. Like if you look up people who have been pepper sprayed, it's like it's days of recovery. It's not just instant.
is there a difference between mace and pepper spray, or is it just the same thing?
It's probably just the same. I mean, I'm sure there's slight like ingredients that are different, but it's the same effect. So I don't know.
Is it legal to carry bear mace around?
I have no idea. I mean, probably some. It's Texas, probably. Like I don't. They're like, why do you carry that? And be like, it does. My gun doesn't fit in the purse. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Like I don't know.
I just gotta. My back hurts so much. I don't know if I like fucked it up in my sleep or something, but like just sitting down hurts. Might do some yoga after this.
You probably should start stretching more. Yeah, especially the way you sleep.
I stretch a lot, actually. Like I
I
just,
have almost never seen you stretch. What are you talking about? Like
I feel the
actually,
need to stretch a lot.
I've seen you do like those fake stretches where you're like, "Ooh, I've been sitting for a long time," and you're like, "Ah," and you stretch to one side, and then you go back to sitting the same way. That's not stretching, all right? That's just like temporarily relieving pain. You need to actually stretch for like, I don't know, 10-20 minutes a day. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I just found this list, and it is
Of
the
what?
list of which canned biscuits ranked worst to best.
Oh,
First off, what do you guess is the best canned biscuit brand? Like, what's your opinion on it?
Pillsbury. I don't know
Pillsbury?
many canned biscuit brands, to be honest.
Okay, name as
You
many as you
usually
can. Go
buy
ahead.
them.
Go ahead. Name as many as you can.
Pillsbury,
Yeah.
Signature Select.
Okay. All right.
Um,
So this,
that's it.
well done. So this is the list of worst to best, and it's interesting towards the end. The worst biscuits that are rated is Great Value Biscuits, which is Walmart's brand, right?
Okay.
Which is not surprising because I'm looking
Why
at
are
a
they the
picture.
worst?
I'm looking at a picture, and they just don't look good. They just look like rolls. They don't look like biscuits. It's crazy. The next one is Amazon's Happy Belly biscuits, which I didn't know that they had their own brand of
What is
Happy
that? Like a
Belly.
probiotic biscuit or something?
I don't
What?
know. It's got no high fructose corn syrup. I know that from the picture. Next, in third to last, by the way, is Signature Select biscuits, which I think they're decent. They're not great, but they're decent. You
I
know.
mean, I've never just had them by themselves. Like we always pair it with something, so I haven't really noticed a problem with them.
Yeah, they're all right. And then we get into the brands that I've never heard of. Like this one's it's called Harris Teeter biscuits.
Nope.
Apparently it's a Kroger brand. I don't know. But then right
Oh.
after that, slightly better is actual Kroger brand biscuits. So I
Hmm.
don't, I don't know if it's a subsidiary or what's going on there.
I thought Kroger
Next,
and Walmart would like the same thing. Am I
nah, they
crazy?
got different brands, make you feel like you have a choice. The next one is Trader Joe's biscuits,
Never tried
which
them.
yeah, I haven't either. But the
Is
picture
there a
looks
Trader Joe's
decent.
here? Yeah, we've been to it. Never mind.
Yeah, it's down the road. Next is Bakehouse Creations biscuits, which is an Aldi brand, is what it looks like.
Aldi? Oh,
Yeah,
Aldi.
yeah, ALDI. And their biscuits look okay. They got no like looking there. Yeah, they're just all right.
I've never
The
been to
next
an Aldi.
one,
It sounds nice though.
the next one is a Laura Lynn biscuits. I don't know. I've never seen those before.
I bet they're amazing.
I don't know. The next one is called Immaculate Baking Company biscuits, which just it doesn't roll off the the tongue.
Sounds like pretentious biscuits.
Yeah, it looks like the pictures were drawn by like the lady's kids who owns a company or something. But
Aw,
they're next.
pretentious,
Then
but cute.
it's Pillsbury biscuits, right?
Yeah.
Pillsbury biscuits, and they actually came in second place. The first place, which was surprising to me, was Annie's biscuits. You know, Annie, like they make the
I know they're
organic
mac and
mac and
cheese.
cheese. Yeah, apparently they make biscuits, and they're better than Pillsbury's. I guess I don't know.
We should try them sometime.
I know that's what I was looking at. I'm like, huh, those look pretty good actually.
I've heard really great things about the Annie's brand. I haven't really tried anything besides like mac and cheese and I think some like cheddar puff chip
I
things.
think their mac and cheese is just okay. I don't think it's anything great though. That's the issue. Like
What's your favorite mac and cheese?
my favorite mac and cheese is homemade mac and cheese. It's better. It's the best. I don't. It's
Okay,
easiest to make it.
yes.
All right.
Okay, but out of boxed mac and cheese, my favorite has got to be that Cheetos mac and cheese. I know it is probably
Right.
cancer
I
causing.
I
I
only
think it's
have it's so
delicious.
orange. It's just like they
It's
dye it orange and
unnatural.
you're like, what the like we can't
It
use you
tastes
can't
great.
use a white spoon or a wooden spoon to stir it because they'll be permanently dyed orange. That's how much orange dye is in that. Like it's ridiculous.
But delicious.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's I I do like it because it just tastes like Cheetos, but I definitely think it's not good for you.
No.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of boxed mac and cheese besides like Kraft mac and cheese, the Cheetos one. I've had Annie's before, and then I've had like one other one that I can't remember that was pretty good. Um, actually, I my sister she told me to grab the what's it called, the white cheddar something brand of something a while back, and I just never did. But I'll have to try that. She says it's pretty good.
I like your mac and cheese.
Speaking of lists, I found another
Oh, sorry,
list.
did you not hear me?
What's up?
I like your mac and cheese.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Put like all the cheeses in it. Doesn't it costs a good amount because
Especially when you
cheese
put
is
bacon in
expensive
it.
right now. But yeah, cheese and bacon is expensive, so there's
To be
that.
fair, we have that big thing of cheddar we could use.
Yeah, but cheddar's boring when it's by itself. You got to
We
spice it
got
up a
like
little bit,
8 packs of
flavor it
cheese,
in.
okay? Like you could make
We
me
have
some mac
like
and
four or
cheese.
five. Oh, I forgot to take the pepper jack with me. That's right. Oh well, next time. I don't know why you got pepper jack. Like you don't like it. It's
I didn't realize. I was just like it was like buy 4 for this amount or something like that. And so I got my 2 of my parmesan, but you had already stocked me up on parmesan. So I was like I don't really need a lot. I'm just getting it cuz it's on sale, you know. And so I got like a Monterey Jack and then I was like, okay. Um oh no, so I did a parmesan, a Monterey Jack, I did the mixed jacks and then the pepper jack because I was like, "Oh, it's like Monterey Jack or whatever." I didn't think about the pepper part.
it's like
I
Monterey Jack.
was like,
It
"Oh,
has Jack in it.
it
Come
might
on
have a
now.
little bit of extra flavor or whatever. That's fine."
Yeah, the
Um,
flavor of peppers.
it literally just tastes like pepper to me. I put it in some
Yeah.
pasta I made, some chicken pasta. It literally ruined it for me. I didn't even want to have the leftovers. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh yeah, I found another list while you were. I just like lists. Lists of things are fun. I found another list
kid with
of
autism."
is the craziest candle scents you can buy. The first one, I think you'll like some of these, but it
Garlic.
says crazy, but I think some of these are just like preference, right? Like the first one is pot roast dinner. Like I think that would smell good, you
I
know.
really like pot roast.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I need
But
a
then
good
the
pot roast
the
right
second one in their list is the gasoline candle. It
now.
smells like you're burning gasoline.
Why
And
do
I
people
was
some
like,
people like the
why?
smell of that, and it just makes my whole body cringe. I just
Yeah.
don't like it.
The next one is the cheese candle. Now, it's you would think that it would smell like cheese, but it's actually shaped like a block of Swiss cheese and it smells slightly like what's it called? Like cheddar cheese, which is off-putting to me, so I don't think I'd like it.
No, cheddar's not really my favorite scent.
And then the next one is the smell my nuts candle, which if you read the fine print, it says banana nut bread with coconut and hazelnut infused. And I'm like, why wouldn't you
Ooh, that sounds
but you
really good.
but they they labeled it smell my nuts. And I was like, all right, man. And then the next one is this I don't know how to describe it really. It is the Warhammer 40K scent of pestilence candle. It's
What does pestilence smell like?
that's what I'm saying. It's a strange call to design a candle after the plague god Nurgle. All it says is embrace the scent of pestilence is the only thing it says on the candle. But then it follows it up with there's a mac and cheese candle, which I feel like would just be the cheese candle again, you know?
No.
Then
Mac
there's
and cheese is
buttered
different.
popcorn.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Then their final one on the list, I think, might be your favorite. It's the same people who made the Pyrus candle, by the way. They make a ramen scented candle.
What kind of ramen?
I don't know. It just says ramen.
Hmm.
It says their attempt at a ramen scent includes a base of patchouli and a mix of sage, cumin, dry musk, garlic, and basil. It doesn't
That
seem
doesn't sound
half
like it would
bad,
smell
but
like
if the candle
ramen.
smells convincing, then you'll pretty much be hypnotized into ordering ramen eventually.
I'm not sure. After hearing the ingredients, I feel like that wouldn't smell like ramen, but I guess I can't judge it unless I smell it. Like patchouli is a very strong scent.
Yeah, I think it's just because you make your ramen like a certain way, and then you wouldn't want to smell slightly off from that. Otherwise, it'd just be a random scent. It wouldn't really be ramen.
Well, even if like I like even the basic ramens like tonkatsu. I like miso ramen is my favorite, but I like regular ramen and stuff too. I wouldn't mind the scents of it, but patchouli, I can't think of an ingredient patchouli would smell like in ramen. Like whatever.
I
What
don't know.
is your
Put
favorite scent?
patchouli. Why don't you put patchouli in your next ramen mixture, and we'll see how it turns out.
What's your favorite scent?
My favorite scent,
Mhm.
like in candle wise, or just in general.
Could be whatever.
It's got to be bacon. Just bacon cooking. Bacon cooking's good. Like you wake up when you smell bacon cooking. All right, you can't
Yeah.
deny that it's good. You'd be like, "Oh, hello."
When I was a
That
kid,
or like campfire. I like campfire
ooh,
smells too,
campfire.
like the smoky, woody smells.
When I was a kid, I always kind of got up a little early. Like my body clock, I might sleep until 10 or 11 if I've overslept a lot, but generally, like I'll wake up by 7 or 8 naturally. My sister would sleep till 3 p.m. if you didn't get her up. But we'd always laugh because if you started making breakfast and the smells of like bacon and stuff hit, she would wake up instantly.
Yeah, I think my brother used to do that too. He would sleep all day until we got him up. And we're like, "Hey, man, you got chores and stuff to do around here." He's like, "Oh, okay."
My parents didn't even make us do that many chores. They were just like, do something. Like, don't
Yeah,
sleep
just do
all day.
something.
But I think it was because she would stay up till like 3 in the morning playing that old. If you remember the game IMVU, I think it's still
No,
around,
I don't
but
remember that. I don't think I ever
it,
played that.
it was like an online chat room game. Um, and so she would like stay up until 3 a.m. like dressed up in this game, like living out her fantasy life, and then have to sleep all day because she was so tired. But she would tell her parents that she was only playing like a little bit or whatever, and they were like, mm-hmm.
And they just never checked on her. They were like, whatever. She'll figure it out.
They checked on her, but I don't think they knew what to do with us.
They didn't know what to do. No one does. Well, that's not an excuse.
Yeah, I said I don't want to talk about like too many like dark family problems, but
Yeah,
yeah, my
you
childhood was
you
not
are the one
normal.
that keeps bringing it up. You're just
Well, I
like,
was
I don't
bringing up
want
a
to talk
funny
about this.
story,
Here's
but then
when
I
I
was
was
like,
a
I don't want
kid.
to get
I'm like,
into
all
the
right.
too much darkness. But if you talk about my family for any extended amount of time, it's just like, all right, this got worse.
Speaking of
No, we didn't
things
say my
hitting you, what?
scent. My scent.
We'll say it then.
So, I don't remember the company, but I got this wax melt, and the scent was Enchanted Library, and it smelled so good. I need to get more, and that's all. I wanted to share that.
You smell so good. Do you still have it? Like, I don't. I've never
I
heard
used
that.
all of it.
Well, where'd you get it from?
I saw it in a Facebook ad for it's like a small like wax melt company. I could get more online, but I also had one. It was called like Dragon's Blood or something like that. They make just like fantasy inspired scents, and I really liked it.
Yeah, that would be good. I feel like that would almost smell like an old. I know what smell you're talking about. I don't know if I've smelled that one in particular, but you go into an old bookstore or library, you know what smell it is.
Yeah, it's like that, but then like added some like fruity and floral notes. So it was like, yay. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, speaking of hitting things, did you see that a Russian fighter jet collided with a U.S. drone over the Black Sea?
Yeah,
Like
I
it
saw
ran into
Russia
it.
decorated the soldiers for downing the drone.
Yeah, okay, but Russia released the statement that they had nothing to do with it, right? That the drone just crashed by itself. And then once the video came out, I don't know if you've seen the video. Have you seen
No,
it?
I don't watch
The
stuff like
video,
that.
oh man, the video is good because the Russian fighter jets, there's two of them. and they're both, the first one flies over and dumps fuel on the drone, and then the second one tries to dump fuel on the drone and just crashes with it, and they both fall out of the sky. And so they made the statement originally. Russia made the statement that they had nothing to do with it. They weren't in the area, and the drone just crashed by itself. And then the U.S. was like, that's a complete lie. There's evidence. There's video evidence we have of you crashing into our drone. You know, and so they released the video, and it clearly shows two Russian jets running into it, or one of them running into it, one of them flying over it. And then they made the statement of like, oh, we're so proud of our pilots for downing a drone. And I'm like, bro, he's like fucking kamikazed on that. What are you talking about? Like, didn't
Oh,
even shoot at it. What are you talking about?
things are getting worse.
I just love that they were just like, nah, that wasn't us. We weren't there. And then we were like, we have videos of it. And you're like, oh, yeah, we did it on purpose. Well done, sir. Like, well done, soldiers. You're like, that's not how that works. Like,
It's just not a good look, especially on the political
no,
stage. Everything's too interconnected.
especially with
Everything's
like you.
recorded.
I mean, especially if you lie about it, like just be like, yeah, they did it. They didn't have clearance to do it. The soldiers are being punished, but they did it, or at least own up to it. Be like, yes, we ordered our soldiers to shoot down or like interfere with your drone. But to be like, no, that wasn't us. We weren't there. Like, no, we have the video. You were there. It was they were your planes.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna bully the international community, don't be a pussy about it.
Just commit already. Come on now.
Yeah, just pick one.
Like WW3, let's go. I don't understand.
No, I saw a thing and it was like Americans who lived through the Cold War, like how does today's times with all the crazy shit going on, compare? And a lot of people were like, it's nowhere near as bad as it was then.
What, as bad as the Cold War was?
Yeah, like in
Oh yeah, I
terms of
mean,
like the terror and stuff. But I like to think the world today, we're all just connected by how terrifying everything is right now.
I think
Um,
people are getting stupider. I think that's what it is.
I saw a thing about like why Americans don't riot because like have you seen the French riots
Oh
happening
yeah,
right
in
now?
Paris. Yeah,
God, I
yeah, I've
love
seen
the
that.
French.
Friends are just like, oh, didn't it? It was over something small too. It was like they reduced
Um,
vacation hours or
no,
something.
so the president wanted to raise the age of retirement.
Oh, is that what it was? There
Um,
was one a couple weeks back about vacation time somewhere. I can't remember
yeah,
where.
so the president wanted to raise their retirement age, and everybody said they didn't want it to happen, and he forced it through anyways. So everybody immediately started rioting. They're burning an effigy of, I think it's President Macron. I don't know how to
Yeah,
say his
yeah,
name correctly.
yeah.
Um,
I've seen that. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, like comparatively, a lot of things are going on in our own country that are equally as bad. Like just so many things happening right now. It's like impossible to discuss all of them.
I'm
Um,
telling you, all right, those populations getting stupider. And I'll tell you, I have a prime example, all right?
mhm,
I told you briefly, I had to do this last week. There was a one of my employees, right? He damaged and well, he destroyed a piece of equipment. So we had to take him off of our front line basically and bring him to the back to the office,
mhm,
right? Because he damaged his equipment, we couldn't get him more. It's a whole thing, right? We brought him in. This man's 22 years old, right? He's in the office with us. He's talking to another employee of mine who's they're just I don't know talking about whatever. And then all of a sudden, the second employee was like, "Dude, no, you cannot do that. Like that's crazy. Why would you ever do that?" And at this point, we were like, "What the heck are you
mhm.
guys
Yeah,
talking about?
what?
Like, what are you guys talking about?" And he's like, uh, "Guy number, we'll label him. Guy one is the dumb 22-year-old. Guy two is the one who works for me, right?"
Mhm,
So guy two was like, my uh guy two has a friend whose girlfriend just or fiance or whoever just gave birth not too long ago, and they have a 1-year-old son. And so they were, what's up?
The way you said that, she gave birth not too long ago, and they have a 1-year-old son. So, like, did she also just have another baby, or is
Would
the
you just
1-year-old
be quiet
son?
now? All right.
I just don't understand. Is it
uh,
2 children or 1?
no, they have a 1-year-old. All right, calm down.
Okay.
Jesus, what is all right. They
So she gave birth a year ago.
yeah, that's not too long ago. All right. What? You're acting like it's forever ago? What were you doing a year ago?
Well, I mean, not too long
Exactly.
ago, I'd think like, oh, 6 weeks ago or something like that.
6 weeks ago. What are you on about? Not too long. Anyway, you're just being crazy now. Anyway, he was explaining that his friend, he was sending his friend some money because he was working and his fiance was taking care of their kid at home, And employee number one, the 22-year-old, he said, well, why doesn't she just go to work and leave him at home? And we all looked at him and said, what the fuck are you talking about? You cannot leave a 1-year-old alone all day.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you get one of those little baby cage things, and you can just leave them in there.
What?
We were like, what are you talking about? He goes, we're like, we're like, they can't do anything for themselves. Like you cannot leave a 1-year-old alone. Like we're not fucking like elephants, all right? That's not how that shit works. Like it's you can't just leave them
I'm literally
alone.
staring open mouthed at my
He's
screen.
22, and we were like,
Can I just tell you that is the
what
like
the
origin
fuck?
story of a huge trauma in one of the books I read? Like this girl's mom literally does that to her, locks her in a cage because she has this power
He
to
he
like
didn't mean
move
like an
fast.
actual cage. He meant like a baby crib or things like that. But
Oh my god.
but we were
Okay, I
like,
was
you
like, you
can't
can't
just
put
put him
kids
in
in
a cage.
cages like
No, no, no.
that. Like,
He meant crib, but he said cage, and we knew what he meant. But
okay. I was
he's
like,
like, yeah, you just put him in the cage thing. And we're like, the crib. He's like, yeah, the little cage thing. You just leave him. You can just leave him in there. They can't like get out or stuff and go like hurt themselves. And we're like, that's not the point, man. Like they can't feed themselves. They can't go to the bathroom. Like, what are you, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, I thought by like one, you were able to like leave them by themselves. We had
you
to
can't leave them by
explain
themselves till they're like 10 or so. And even
we
then
had
it's
to
very
explain.
sparingly.
We were like, "Hey, man, it's a law in most places. You can't leave kids alone until they're like 10 or 12." And he's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man. Why would you even?" He's like, "Oh, I've left my 3-year-old like nephew alone a couple times." And we're like, "With what? Like
What?
for how long?" He's like, "Oh, just for like a couple hours in his crib." I'm like, "A couple hours, maybe, but like,
If it's
were you
sleeping or
still in
something,
the building with him? Like, it's still in the home?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was in the other room." I'm like, "See, that's okay, like, because you can
that's
still
that's
hear."
normal.
Like you could still hear the kid if he needs something. He's 3, but like leaving a 1-year-old in a crib for 8 hours while you go to work, not okay. And
Well,
he's
I
like,
mean,
"Oh,
even
I didn't know
even
that." I'm like,
then, with a
"You what?"
3-year-old, you don't want to leave them alone for a very long time because they can pull themselves up and out of their crib. Some like I think that's about the age where they're able to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
start
but
pulling
you know what I'm
themselves
saying.
out.
Like it was more acceptable that he was still in the house,
But
and I was like, "But you."
the logic's not logicking.
He left that baby alone, that 3-year-old, and we're like, "Did you leave a 1-year-old alone?" He goes, "No." He goes,
They're
"Why is
like,
that?
good,
Is
don't.
it bad?" And we're like, "Bro, that's how you go to jail for like child neglect and endangerment. Like, stop that. What are you doing?"
1-year-olds can't do
He
anything
was
for themselves.
he was 22. This was last week. I was like, I don't know how you've don't we asked him too. We're like, "Do you have a girlfriend right now?" Or he's like, "No." I'm like, "Do you have kids?" He goes, "No." I said, "Fucking don't. Like, don't just don't." I don't. I made it tell him like, "Stop. Like, I will buy you condoms. Stop it." Like, I don't.
Man, I like the idea of children every once in a while, and then you tell me these stories, and I'm just like, oh my god, how are people
Yeah.
having children?
People are having kids. It's crazy. Yeah, it's I don't know, man.
We got a cat.
Yeah, we did. On a brighter note, this will appeal to you because you're one of those people. They discovered a new dinosaur, and
Yeah?
this dinosaur has the longest neck of any dinosaur that has ever been discovered. Right? So like Jurassic Park, like those giant dinosaurs with like
Like
the
the
huge
Brachiosaurus?
necks. Yeah, yeah. They found one with a longer neck. This neck is an at about 50 feet in length. It's a 50-foot long neck. It was ridiculous.
How long is 50 feet? Isn't
Now, by comparison, like an average giraffe is almost 8 feet. Like
oh,
they are over 5 times as long as a giraffe's neck. Like, hold on, let me look up the what is it? The Brachiosaurus.
yeah, there's a Brachiosaurus, and there's another one I can't remember the name of. My sister really liked them. They're another long neck grass eater.
Yeah, hold on. Let me neck length. Let's look up the neck length. Yeah, the neck length of a Brachiosaurus is 9 meters long. The one they just found is 15 meters. It's ridiculous. It's a
Do you
huge
have
poison.
like a comparison, like how long,
Of
like
how
what
long
is,
it is.
yeah, like
Like,
on.
okay. From where your desk is sitting in the room, that wall to the front door, you see that length?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's like 20 feet. It's over twice as
that's just
long.
their neck.
Yeah, that's not even like their
They have
body.
like a whole
That's
body
just
and
their
legs
neck.
and stuff too.
Yeah, and 50 feet long. It's crazy.
I am so excited because I'm seeing Taylor Swift next month.
I see that all the time. You just Google it and then she's there. Boop. Google images. Got it.
She tweeted photos of her rehearsal, and I'm just very excited.
She's rehearsing for next month.
No, she's already started her tour. It started
Oh, okay.
last
I thought she
weekend.
was like in Houston for the like the whole month. Like, ooh.
No, she's playing in a bunch of places. Like she's gonna be in Vegas and stuff too. And then I have a friend who's seeing her like 3 times.
3 times? That is
Yeah.
ridiculous. How much money are you spending on these
Well, she
tickets? Oh
bought a
my
set of
gosh.
tickets. Her boyfriend bought a set of tickets, and then her parents bought a set of tickets as well.
And they just all gave it to her, was like, here,
Well,
go 3 times. They
they're
were
going
all
as a
different.
family. Like they're all going in a group, and then she's going with her boyfriend and
Are they,
friends.
but they're all 3 different shows? Like, did they
Yeah,
coordinate that? That's crazy. You figure like at least one of them would buy tickets to the same show.
I
But
was
like,
just
hey, my
amazed at her
boyfriend bought me
luck.
2 tickets to this show. And then her family's like, we bought 6 tickets to this same show. And you're like, well, now we have fucking 8 and there's 4 of us. So like, I don't
They had
know.
like there was like a thing where if you had a certain credit card, like you got in early access with like guaranteed tickets or something. Um, but like I said, I got like the we're sorry we fucked up tickets.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, we gave these tickets away to a bunch of people who were bots anyway. You can have some."
Yeah, like I was on the wait list and I couldn't get in at my time and then I had to work, so I couldn't sit there refreshing all day or like checking the status all day, so I just gave up. And then they messaged me and now I have tickets.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Should be fun. I'm looking forward
Picked
to
out my outfit. I got snake tights. I'm so excited. That's all you guys want to hear about my
it.
outfit. I know. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, hey, next week. I was actually thinking about it for next week's episode. Did you want to record ahead of time or just do it when I'm up there?
Do you want to do a special like YouTube video or anything or
I, all right, we'll talk about it later since you got you're
Yeah,
like,
we got
I don't
questions.
know. There's too much
And
thing.
we
I'm
still
like,
got
it was
like
an
10,
air.
20
He's
minutes
like,
of podcasting left.
what does that mean?
Like a fun things to talk about.
You're out of fun things to talk about?
No, like we need to be talking about fun things.
I feel like my future is fun, okay? I don't
Yeah? Is it?
Wow, is yours not? How depressing you are.
I hope.
I hope. You're like, I don't know. I haven't thought
I don't
about
really
it.
have any future plans.
Speaking of the future, I saw there's a company in Germany, right,
Mhm.
that are focusing on reversing death and resurrecting humans.
Mm,
It's amazing. So far, it's a little startup company. It's not like it's a huge tech company, right? The company
okay.
is called Tomorrow Biostasis, which is just a fun name to start with, right? They're focusing on human cryopreservation and they're trying to reverse death. So what you do is you can sign up to be on their wait list basically. And once you die, they like claim your body, right? Because you've donated it
Mhm.
to them basically, and they freeze it like right after death, and then they preserve it, and that's as far as they've gotten. They have no they have no real plan on how to resurrect them. Right now they're in the stages of we're freezing people and like trying to get them back later, right?
That is kind of skeevy.
So what they're doing is right now they have about ten bodies is what they're saying.
They're
And
charging people for this right now?
I have no idea. I think you donate it to them. They collect it for free because it's you donate your body to science technically because you can't
Okay.
sell dead bodies. You have to donate them,
Oh yeah.
right? So
Well, you can if you know a guy.
well, that's right. But they're currently they have 10 people cryopreserved right now, right? They they said that their typical clientele are people that are in their mid 30s signing up to be on their wait list, which they're just like, all right, whatever. Which they thought it was funny because they're like, it's weird. It's not old people signing up for it. It's people in their 30s that are signing up for this. But
Mhm.
once their bodies get donated to this company, they transport them to Switzerland for long term storage at a place called the European Biostasis Foundation. So, like, there's another biostasis company in Switzerland and they're donating bodies to. Um, yeah, they cool your body down to negative 196 degrees Celsius, like almost absolute zero, and then they just store you away. They put you in an insulated tank filled with liquid nitrogen and some other ingredients to lock in your preservation, and they're just waiting. They're
Okay.
they're working on waiting for medical advancement to progress to the point that it can reverse uh, death or put like a human's brains and memories and things into a new body in the future. So right now, this company, all it's doing is taking dead bodies and freezing them, and that is it. they are
I feel
so
like there's so many ethical problems there. Like,
no, no, no. I mean, they're not the only company doing it. They're just like the latest one
one,
in Germany.
if they don't have the technology to do this and they're just freezing people, do they know the long-term effects of this on the brain?
Yeah, that's what they're studying too. Like that's what they got to do. But the freezing at negative 196, there's no degradation to any of your brain cells or tissue. Like it's just frozen in place.
That's so crazy.
Like they're able to freeze brain and preserve, cells and tissues, but bringing a dead brain back to life with regular function or in its memories or putting it in a new body is something we can't do yet. So
Well, I think
it's
that's
already
because there's a
been
fundamental problem is that they don't understand what where consciousness comes from.
right, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying, like, you know what? You're dead anyway. Like, it's not like they're taking live people and freezing them. They're just taking dead bodies and freezing them and hoping that they can revive them later. So I'm like, you know what? I would sign up to be on that wait list, I think. Because it'd be like, I'm already dead. Like, what am I going to do about it? Just freeze me, whatever.
And
Maybe I'll wake up one day.
how are memories stored in the brain? Like, is it
I don't know.
in the
Nobody
tissue?
knows.
Is
I
it
don't
that
know.
your neurons remember?
I, who knows?
Like,
But it's all still there. So frozen.
well, so my question is, if you like take neurons, like if you were able to transplant neurons from one person to another, do they then get their memories? Like, like with transplant people, like sometimes they'll get like the personality traits of the person they got their transplant from, or like have like urges to listen to music or eat food that their transplant person liked. I'm like, I wonder if like it's the same with the brain cells, but nobody's done a brain
I don't know.
transplant.
But would
So
you want to do that? Would you sign up to be frozen after you
I
die?
don't know. It sounds really creepy, honestly.
Why? What do you mean? You'll already be dead. You
Can you?
die, right? And then they freeze you, and then maybe you wake up one day in a robot body. Like that's it. That's all it
Oh my
is.
god, I don't want to be a robot.
Why? What? You don't want to be in a sturdier body that you don't get bruised every time you see the wall slightly too slowly. Like
So it would just be my damaged brain being brought back to life inside of a robot.
yeah, and you get to start life however you want. Duh. Or you could be like, you know what? Let's delete all these bad memories. Only have the good ones. You're a robot now. You can do that.
Could they like heal my brain while
What do
I'm
you mean
sleeping?
heal it? Well, there's nothing wrong with your brain, dingus. What are you doing?
Yeah, long-term mental health problems cause brain damage, and so does PTSD.
Well, then we'll freeze them. I don't know. Like the other
I'm
thing
like,
too is like
hmm.
if you freeze a brain and you get woken up in a time when they're able to put you in a robot, they've probably got some other advanced functionalities, right? Like some advanced
Like,
medicines and
can you
stuff.
please cure
Like,
depression?
ah, we've got you. Boop. They're like,
Like, make that my request in my death.
were
Yes, you can have
you?
my body, but only if you don't wake me up until there's a cure for this.
Yeah, like you woke up and you're just like, if you cured the big sad, and they'd be like, yeah, here, take this pill, and you're like, oh, okay, you know.
They're like, this is advanced society. We've never heard of that before. Okay, can you fix it? It's
I was
rainy here
also,
today.
what's up?
It's rainy here today.
Yeah, I was also reading an article about species that were thought to be extinct. There's been a surprising number of species over the last 100 years that were thought to be extinct that were just found again or like rebred into the population. You know,
They're probably hiding from us.
they could be like
They
there's a
should
small
be.
species of bird that was thought to be extinct. Nobody had seen one in over 100 years, and then they found a colony of like 200 of them in on top of a mountain in New Zealand. You're like, what the? How did you get here? Same thing with I think we talked about it on one of the other previous episodes, like one of the first couple. They what are they called? The something bulls down in Mexico, like the something cows or bulls, one of the two. But they haven't been seen anywhere in Mexico or the lower United States in decades. But they found tracks and like feces left behind of these animals up in like the Mexican mountain ranges, and they're like, "Oh, they're here somewhere," you know. Like,
That reminds me of I'm trying to look up the details real quick. So recently, I don't know this um the specific tribe or anything. Recently, a bunch of great American buffalo or whatever, the buffalo in America, were repatriated back to a Native American tribe because they are rare and endangered, and the natives have, ancient cultural knowledge about how to live peacefully with buffalo and how to help them grow their numbers. So they repatriated them back to the tribe, and they're going to be trying to revive their population.
that's always exciting too. The same something similar happened with the Caspian horse. You ever seen those?
Mm-mm.
They look really small, and honestly they look like newborns almost. They're like really small looking little horses. But the Caspian horse hadn't been seen in, I think it was like 2 or 3 thousand years. Like no one had seen them until a man moved to, I think it was like Peru or Venezuela or something. I don't know. He moved to go be a horse breeder, and all the horses that his wife, who he moved in with, down in that country, all the horses that she had, I guess, were too violent for him. So he went looking for a smaller, less violent horse, and he just found Caspian horses and has started breeding them. And now they've come back from extinction. And it was
Oh,
like,
wow.
all right, now they're back.
He just discovered them. He's like, "Oh yeah, these little horses are cool."
Which I didn't know.
What? They're endangered?
Do you know how they classify like when a species becomes extinct?
I thought it was like when there's like not any more breeding pairs or something like that.
No, that's endangered, but well, like critically endangered. But it used to be that they operated under the rule that if a species hasn't been seen anywhere for 50 years, it'll be declared extinct, right? Like if no one's seen one for 50 years, it's an extinct animal. But they
Mhm.
recently changed that to where now, because like the cows in Mexico, no one's seen them, but they're seeing signs of them, like the tracks and the feces and all
Mhm.
that. So in the 90s they changed that rule. So now it's a species can only be listed as extinct if there is no reasonable doubt that the last individual member has died. So if
Hmm.
they find even like traces of the animal being there recently, they can't call that species extinct anymore,
Hmm.
even if they don't see them. So like even if an animal's really good at playing hide and seek, but we find like one little poop pellet, be like, you're not extinct. Haha, I got you.
You're still holding on, buddy. Hang in
We
there.
found you.
I hope we can keep doing good things in the environment so more animals can come back.
I mean, I don't think that's us. I think that's them just being like Darwinism, bitch, and they're just like evolving on their own.
Well, a lot of animals have gone extinct due to like deforestation and climate change, like destroying their habitats. Um, or because like a lot of animals are sensitive to, like changes in like water temperature and pH, and a lot of bugs have like lost their plants and native species they lived and ate it from. So I hope we'll keep seeing stories like that where they're coming back. It's really nice. Where'd you go, John?
Oh, there it goes. I might cut out for a second. I I also enjoy. I like just reading science stories. They're fun.
So I follow uplifting news on Reddit.
Uplifting news. I don't do that.
Yeah, it's because sometimes when I go through the news, it's not good for me. So I follow uplifting news that just talks about good things. Like right now, they're a 4-day work week is being toyed around with in Congress. It probably won't actually help
Crazy.
anybody that it needs to, but I think it's nice.
I mean, if they made it mandated that 4-day work weeks were a thing, there would be so much better. It would be so much better. There are so many studies and case studies of improved productivity and like general happiness and well-being from employees who have gone to a 4-day work week. I think it's Japan that has a lot of them that have done 4-day work weeks. Like the productivity increases by like 115% or something like that, and you have general happiness from your workers increases like over
Well, yeah, but
60%. You're like
was it
crazy.
Japan or was it South Korea recently that said they wanted to increase their working hours to like 80 hours a week?
I don't know. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, so I don't remember, but we're on uplifting news, so I won't talk about the depressing things. Um, Recently, a college buddy wrestled a bear, a grizzly bear, to help his friend and won.
Wrestled a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in October, two friends in Wyoming were, in the wilderness near Yellowstone when they noticed some fresh droppings from a bear. They'd only been friends for like a month, but they had met like in college wrestling.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Good
he wrestled
story.
a bear to save his friend. Apparently, the one guy was 50 feet away when he heard Brady yell, "Hey, watch out for this big pile of bear shit!" And then they heard a cracking
Watch
noise,
out for this big pile.
and Brady ended his sentence and was only able to yell out "bear" before a 500-pound grizzly bear hit him in the chest, and they
Yeah.
had to wrestle a grizzly bear.
Yep. That's I just got baited by this article, all right?
Yeah.
It says ancient bear dog found in France. And I was like, "Oh, cool, let's find out." No, okay. I was like, "Oh, sweet, that'd be awesome." Like they're not so awesome for the people near there cuz they're fucking like wild carnivores who can run real fucking fast. But it's and the title was Ancient Bear Dog Found in France. And then it starts out with a jawbone fossil from an extinct predator that resembled both bears and dogs confirmed that the carnivores were here millions of years ago in France. And I was like, that's less exciting. Like, we're finding bones everywhere. Why is it still news? I
You're
don't
like, yes.
I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you think a grizzly bear could take a polar bear in a fight?
A polar bear? I don't know. Polar bears are pretty fucking big. Like there's
They're
like
violent.
there's a survival thing, like the little knowledge. It's like if it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back.
Mhm.
All right. There's nothing for polar bears. You know why? Because polar bears don't give a fuck what you do.
No,
They will
that's
try
why
to
I
kill
just
you.
asked, because under that post on Reddit, someone, like, commented about that, but they added, he said, "Where I come from, there's a saying, 'If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, good night.' A grizzly wouldn't stand a chance
Yeah.
against a polar bear."
Yeah. Polar bears are fucking huge. Like it's ridiculous. Hold on.
And they're clear, they're not even white. What would a polar bear look like in a different environment?
Yeah, so polar bears generally weigh between 770 to 1,500 pounds. Grizzly bears weigh 400 to 800 pounds. Like the largest grizzly bears are close to the smallest polar bears. Like polar bears are fucking huge. All right, they're ridiculous.
That's so big, I can't even that's, like, bigger than cars.
It's not bigger than cars, but close. Weight wise, it's
My first car was a Fiat.
The issue is polar bears, grizzly bears are more aggressive, but polar bears like need the food more because of how cold it is.
Mhm. What else you got?
I'm just reading about polar bears and grizzly bears.
Texas researchers use okra to remove microplastics from wastewater.
Yeah. Oh, actually, here it says a new study has found that polar bears are more aggressive, eating almost a diet exclusively composed of meat. Because I mean, they live in the Arctic. Of course, they're only going to compose like there's no plants there. It says, but grizzly bears forage berries and hunting through the forest. Yeah, well, obviously, because they have the ability to eat the berries. What?
Like what forest? Are there a lot of Arctic forests?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like berries don't grow in like super cold places, so the polar bears have to eat meat. You know, like it's is it this is a question, is it normal for grizzlies to attack polar bears? It says encounters between
What?
grizzlies and polar bears have only been reported in past literature. None have been recorded in modern times. Like, of course not. They don't live in the
I
same
think
place.
the title of this article is questionable. An emerald mine in Colombia used to have rampant worker exploitation and corruption. Now, under new management, things have gotten a lot better. Have they?
Okay.
Weird way to say that.
Oh, polar bears are still a vulnerable species. Grizzly bears are a threatened species. Wow, it's estimated that there are only around 1,400 grizzly bears left in all of North America.
Oh.
Meanwhile, polar bears in total around like the entire world, there's around 25,000 polar bears left.
But people talk about saving the polar bears a lot more than they do about the grizzlies.
Well, that grizzly number is just from the North America. I'm sure there's others worldwide, but I always like articles like that are like, who would win in this fight? And then it just gives you facts about each animal and never actually says who would win because they're just like,
And they're
we don't
like,
know.
you decide.
And they're like, here are the facts about the animal. You pick. And you're like, all right, cool, I guess. Hold
Make
on.
some
I just
bacon.
found another article. Florida
Mm-hmm.
man charged with stealing $700,000 worth of seafood by impersonating Safeway employee.
How did he do that successfully?
he he had a fake purchase order from Safeway placed to a seafood company. He purchased $432,000 worth of Russian king crab and a second order worth $296,000. Both came from a fake Safeway email address. Oh my gosh. He
He did
sent
great.
he rented a truck to pick up the shipments on two occasions. So they oh my gosh, the buyer realized or the what was he doing with all that seafood? The seafood company realized that they couldn't reach him by the phone to get paid. And I'm like, why would you give it to him if you haven't been paid yet? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. He's just
Oh
like, it's
my
mine.
gosh. What was he doing with all that seafood? That's I don't
Yeah, like, did
even
he eat it?
know.
Was he freezing it? Was he
I
having a party? Like,
Where would you put it? Where would you are you selling it? That's so crazy to me. Like also you ordered so much. That's ridiculous, man. What else you got going on today?
I think I'm gonna make some ramen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you that candle.
It's like rainy outside and I'm hungry.
The weather and the conditions of anything else have nothing to do with you wanting ramen. You will always just get it. Oh man, we didn't even talk about Lance Reddick. I
Yeah. Oh
forgot
my
about it for
god.
like half a
So
second. He passed away yesterday of natural causes, is what it says. I'm like, huh.
yeah, there's still no cause of death. He was only like 61, but
I didn't know he was 60. I thought he was like 40, maybe. Like, that's crazy.
I really liked him. He played Commander Zavala in Destiny, so we've talked about Destiny before. I really like it. So they're
Mm,
doing apparently a lot of Guardians are going into the game and like going to Commander Zavala and honoring him in the game.
yeah. He
Um,
also played was it Silence in the Horizon
yeah,
series. And I was like,
Horizon.
man, he was so good in those too.
And I even like most people don't like aren't quoting him for being in the Resident Evil TV series that just came out, but I really liked it. His character was definitely one of the best parts of that movie or that show. Like it wouldn't have been nearly as good without his acting in it.
Yeah.
And nobody mentions that because like nobody really liked the show, but I did, and he was my favorite part of it.
Oh my gosh. What a fucking article right here. It says why is this even an article? This is just a daily occurrence. It says hilarious Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 kill cam disrespects enemy player. That's every day. What do you mean?
Yeah, like that's the point. Like you suck, haha.
That's
That person's
yeah.
better than you.
It's like I don't
Get good next game, scrub.
and it's not even like that disrespecting either. Like it's just a standard kind of thing that happens. This guy downs somebody, right?
Mhm.
and then ran over and threw a like a bouncing Betty on them. And then it bounced up and killed them. And I was like, that's not even the most disrespectful thing you can do, really. Like, what?
Yeah, no,
That was quite normal. But like,
they
I
would
don't
not
know
have
why.
survived the World at War lobbies back in
Yeah,
the
I
day
don't know
on
why Game Rant
PS3.
made an article out of this. That's interesting. They took a video from Reddit. They must have been hurting for articles that day or something. Oh, it was
No,
today.
literally everybody is just recycling Reddit content these days. Like, TikToks, like there's like really popular TikToks where they'll literally just read over a Reddit story with like some random video playing in the background of nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing on like I see a lot of podcasts do it. Like I've talked about Reddit stuff on here because I really like Reddit, but like a lot of podcasts will just like read "Am I the asshole?" posts, like, and that's it. Like that's their whole thing. They just read "Am I the asshole?" posts and ask people to judge. Um, I think people really are hurting for content.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's why I like
This
that we just wanted to do like a random thing because
I
I mean, there's so
just
much to
I don't
talk
know, I just
about.
talk about random stuff.
It's
I'm
just
just looking through
vibes.
news articles right now, like I don't know what's going on around here.
The cat is looking out the window.
How long have we been going? Ooh. Oh man. I think I think that's gonna do it for us today, unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
Stay hydrated
Stay
and take care of
hydrated.
yourselves.
Didn't you post say you sent me that message yesterday? It was like, I'm fairly certain I've never seen my parents drink water in the past 15 years. Like I
Yeah, no, you said
was
you've
like,
seen
I don't know.
yours. And I mean, I
Yeah,
think
my
I've seen my
parents drink
parents drink
water.
water when they're hungover, but and maybe when they go to bed they have water with them, but my dad drinks like exclusively tea and coffee, and then he'll have like he has like his energy protein shakes and stuff, or if we go out he drinks like screwdrivers usually, but my mom drinks mostly like Pepsi products and Dr Pepper and Mountain Dew, and coffee.
Yeah, no,
She had a
I'm
kidney stone when she was my age.
crazy. Yeah, no, I've seen my parents. They drink water pretty often, so I'm not worried about them. You know.
Every time I drink more than one soda a day I just think about kidney stones, and then I force myself to drink water.
Yeah. Oh boy. So there's the message. Drink some water. Don't go crazy about it.
You beautiful but
Thank
dehydrated bitches.
yeah. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate it. And as always, we'll be back next week with another fun-filled episode or horror-filled episode. Depends on how Ripley's feeling. And we you can, as always, you
Giggles.
can find us wherever you get your podcast. Share it with your friends. We appreciate each and every one of you listening. If you'd like to give us feedback, you can visit the website at mindlessprattle.com and throw out, whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
You can leave reviews, you can send messages, you can leave voice messages, either way. And we'll be here doing our thing whenever we can. I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, and also your shameless self-promotion. Go ahead.
You can follow me at twitch.tv/Ripley Shane. I'm live on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So after we record this, I'll be streaming, but you'll miss it. 'Cause,
After we
Um,
record this, I'll be streaming yesterday. Come back and
I'll
join
be
me.
streaming
That's what you
yesterday.
said.
Um, no, so we are actually one of my friends invited me to do like raids with her and her friends because it requires like 6 people.
What,
And then
Destiny?
yeah, and then I guess I'll go visit Commander Zavala in the tower and be sad.
Yep, get it done.
But yeah, I'll see you on Twitch, guys. You can also follow me on Twitter and follow us on Twitter at our mindless product. Blah, 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 blah. You can follow our Twitter.
Nailed it. That's going to do it for us this week. See you next time. Bye.